My name is Denis Malone. I'm with the Planning Department in Kilkenny County Council or Kilkenny Local Authorities. And tonight's meeting is about the preparation of a new county and city development, as you can see at the overview there. So what I'm going to do is just talk about tonight's format first of all, and give you some introductions as to who we are and the people on the team doing it, what is a development plan, and what the process is around making that plan. And two topics that we're going to talk about tonight are retailing and tourism. Now, tonight's two topics, we've themed each of the public meetings that we're having, and tonight's two topics were retailing and tourism. Now, it's not related specifically to Thomastown, but just for the county in general. But if there's other issues that you need to raise tonight, that's okay too. There's an opportunity for that as well. So the format tonight, we have two short presentations, mine and Amanda Horn from Falch Ireland is to be here to do a short presentation on tourism. I say the two topics are retailing and tourism. We'll break into a working group. So basically, we thought we'd have more people. So, we'll have one working group, the five of us, with a facilitator, and the other facilitators that will be here as well. The working group will have a report for each group, but that'll kind of self-evident. We won't need one, I suppose, because there won't be a larger group to discuss. And then we'll have a discussion around the themes for about 30 minutes within the group. And then we can have we'll report back to the general meeting. So if we had more than one group, obviously we'd have different views from different groups, but that won't be necessary tonight. And then we'll have a questions and answers. So if there's something, having discussed the two themes along with other issues, if you want to have a little questions and answer sessions through myself, I'll do my best to answer whatever questions or queries that you'd have. And then we'll have a cup of tea, coffee anyway, and a biscuit at the end, just to make it all worthwhile, I suppose. So, from my point of view, our development plan core team was made of myself, Katrina Riley, and Katrina Bambrick, who are here tonight, and Jane O'Reilly, who works in the Borough Council in the city. And tonight, we'll have Amanda Horn, who will give us a short presentation about the tourism development. And tonight's two themes, then, as I said, are retailing in the county and tourism development within the county. So, what is a development plan, and why are we talking about retailing and tourism? Well, a development plan, we have two development plans in the county, one for the city and the built-up area around it, and one for the county generally. And a plan like that is supposed to be strategic in its outlook. So, a broad vision of what the county should develop into in years ahead, and same for the city. And it's the main instrument then of controlling development within the county. So if you or me or whoever makes a planning application, the planning authority go to this document, look at it, and assess the planning application against the development plan. And it also has an important role then in protecting the environment and the heritage. So within the plan you'll see policies about protecting the River Nore as an SAC, Special Area Conservation, or you have lists of buildings that are worthy of protection because they're of architectural interest or historical interest. And the plan, to put it into a bit of jargon, it gives spatial expression to economic and social and cultural needs. So what does that mean? Well, it identifies where we should put things. So if we want to do retailing or if we want to do tourism development, where do we put these locations? So would you put a shopping centre on the outskirts of Thomastown? Would you put it in Kilkenny City? This type of thing. And just to give you examples of that, what I did was I went back to the development plans in 2002 and picked out some examples. So in the 2002 development plan, one of the objectives was the provision of motorway dual carriageway within the county, linking Dublin and Waterford. And also we designated lands at McDonagh railway station in the city for retail development. And there was also an objective about the development of Woodstock Gardens. And in 2008, some other stuff that we had in was the completion of the River Nore Linear Park within Kilkenny City, and also deliver water supply for the Bellevue area in Waterford Port area. Now what has happened in the meantime? Well, the McDonagh Junction, as you can see there, some photographs have been built out, the motorway is in place, the linear park is partially developed within Kilkenny City, and Woodstock Gardens is an ongoing development then within the county as well. Other things that have happened, I suppose, just as from a practical level, I picked out some examples that might be of interest locally here. Planning application from Tesco's was refused in Callan. Legal granted permission here in Thomastown, out on the Dublin Road. Also, an Aldi just 2 years ago, or last year, was refused permission in Thomastown, just at the old primary school site. And so that gives you an indication of what the development plan does and how it operates. And where are we now? Well, the current development plan ran from 2008 and it's up to 2014. So we have to start the review process now to have a new plan to put in place between 2014 and 2020. And the process actually officially commenced on the 15th of June last. So we're in the pre-draft stage. So before we actually write a plan and send it out to people for comment, we have the pre-draft stage, which is about public consultation and so on. And so this pre-draft stage involves a bit of research, involves preparation of issues papers. So the issues papers, we have them here tonight. What they are is just a series of topics with thought-provoking questions and comments on them, and they're available on our website as well. And if you want to take a copy away with you tonight, you can peruse it when you go home. And it's also about an awareness campaign and public consultation. Again, run there, you can see from the 24th of June until August 2012. So for tonight's theme, I want to talk a little bit about retailing. I suppose we're trying to develop a county-wide strategy. We have one at the moment, and as part of the review of the development plan, that will be reviewed and replaced. A few interesting facts to note. Since the year 2000, there's been a large increase in the amount of retailing within the county. It's a big employer within the county, so it's about 4,500 people in the county are actually employed in retailing. And its main focus is naturally enough around Kilkenny City, where we have the greatest concentration of population. And just to give you an indication of the scale, that table there shows you the square meterage of retailing within the various towns, and it's done over a timeline of 2000 to 2010. And for the most part, you can see it reflects, I suppose, maybe the Celtic Tiger and the crash afterwards. So you can see there in Callan in 2000, there was about 2,200 square metres, rising to 4,300 around 2007, and that has fallen back to 3,300 roughly in 2010. So you can see all the other, Castlecomer is the next one, same sort of pattern. Kilkenny City there, you can see that the numbers are much more significant in terms of square metres. We're up around 85,000 square metres of retail space in the city. And the only exception to that is interesting is Graiguemanagh, which has shown an underperformance. It didn't increase at all in its retail capacity over that period, just showing a decline. And this is just for Thomastown there again. There's almost 6,000 square metres in Thomastown, which I thought was fine myself. Just some of the trends maybe to look at, think about. People are doing more online shopping. In terms of central government, the focus is on town centres. So they say to us as a local authority, if you're going to do retailing, major retailing, it should be located in the town centre. Unless there's no other option available, then you can consider edge of centre or out of centre locations. Since 2008, there's been an increase, a significant increase in the number of vacant premises throughout the county. I know this Thomastown has its own share of vacant premises. And trends also, people's disposable incomes have dropped since 2007, with wage reductions and pension levels and so on. Another indication of where we're at is over the next 12 months, it's predicted that retail sales will fall by the magnitude of 2.7%. So all this has shown the continued weakness in the economy. And then just on the grocery side alone, then it's likely that will contract by 1 to 2% on a year-on-year basis this year. And looking at some of the 2012 statistics, in the first quarter of 2012, sales fell by 2.56%, compared to the year-on-year, the previous year's quarter. And that was the 12th consecutive quarter of decline in retail sales. So that's over a 3-year period. Retail sales have been dropping in this country. And we're currently, of course, in austerity mode. But the medium to long-term predictions that austerity will continue to 2015 with return to modest growth after that. Again, as I said, vacancies have increased. People's disposable incomes have come down. We're about to get more taxes and spending cuts in the next budget. But the population is still increasing. We have the highest birth rate in the EU at the moment. And maybe some of the things you might consider tonight. The new plan will cover the period 2014 to 2020. What was the role of places like Thomastown in the county in a retailing sense? Should you have more casual trading like farmers markets and so on? Should we be just hung up on the traditional shop or the supermarket? What can we do about the reuse of vacant premises? As I said, the economy is predicted to turn by 2020, so we must make provision for some maybe modest growth. And what's that likely to be in 2020? What will that be like? What I'm going to do now is just to hand over to Amanda, just to give you a brief run through on tourism, and I'll come back to you then once Amanda has finished her presentation. Thanks, Amanda.